Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Lovey, and we're here to make some bread, okay? So, on the last video, I had showed you it was some good things, right? Well, my book has came in, as you can see. It's called the No Fuss Bread Machine Cookbook. In this book, it has a whole bunch of recipes in here, y'all. A bunch of them. And a lot of them are my favorites, and some of them I never heard of. But you can also make it yourself as too. I will have down below in the description box every recipe that I come across from online and from this book here. And also, if y'all have any tips or tricks or anything like that on a recipe for some bread, feel free to leave it down there in the comment down below. I'm willing to learn all kind of ways of you making bread. So today, we're going to make some banana whole wheat bread, okay? Whole wheat bread. And it gives you all the instructions in here on how to do it. You got to follow those to the T as far as the ingredients. You do not want to have two ingredients that's not going in order. You want them to go in order so that way it can work with your bread maker, okay? So in this book, they have all three different ways, okay, as far as pounds of bread, okay? So we're going to be making a 1 pound of bread, okay? And so this is the banana whole wheat bread, and I'm going to have the ingredients down below, and we're going to get started. And I'll tell you more about this bread. You can get this off of Amazon, this book. So, and it's only $7 and some change, y'all. You got to get this book. It's a really good book. So let's get started in making this banana wheat bread, okay? Let's get started. Okay, family. So in this book, the banana whole wheat bread recipe is on page 110, okay? This recipe will make 1 pound of bread and 8 slices, okay? And so you just remember when you're doing bread in a bread machine is to put all your liquids in first before you put in that flour, and the yeast will always be last. Always, okay? Unless the book instructed differently, or if the instructions on a bread maker tell you something differently. But at all times, put that yeast very last, because that's going to be on top of your flour. They do not want you mixing that yeast with any of the ingredients, okay? With any of them. Okay, so on page 110, we're going to do the banana whole wheat bread. Like I said, this calls for 1 pound. And we're going to follow the instructions to the T, okay, on what it's asking for and in its order. Okay, so we're getting ready to place the ingredients in. The first ingredient is going to be 1/3 cup of milk. And that's going in. 1/3 cup of milk. The next thing is going to be 2/3 cup of mashed banana. Okay, so I'm going to put that 2/3 cups of mashed banana. That in. And this is organic bananas. And they were on sale. They think since it's turning dark and got black on it, that it's not going any good. That's the best time to get them, because that's when your banana is the sweetest, okay? Don't let that fool you. When it's really yellow, it's not ripe yet. When you want it sweet, that's when that peeling is dark brown or black. That's when you know it's very sweet. That banana is going to be very sweet. Okay, so that's 2/3 cup of bananas smashed, okay? Now it's asking for 1 egg at room temperature. There's the 1 egg. That's my chicken egg, y'all. She laying it. She laying. Okay, and then 1 tablespoon of melted butter, and you want it to be cool when you put it in. Okay, got that. The next thing is asking for is 2 tablespoons of honey. Okay, and I got me some pure honey here. I'm opening up the jar, and we're going to put 2 tablespoons of honey. That's what it's asking for, so let's get that out. Okay, 2 tablespoons of honey. Get my get this out of here. So that's 2 tablespoons of honey. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Okay. 2 tablespoons of that honey is going in as well. This is going to be a very delicious bread, y'all. And I can't wait to get some. Okay. The next thing is asking for is 2/3 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We do have our own because we made our own vanilla extract. So I'm going to get that and we're going to put that in there. Let me open up this jar. So let's see, it's asking 2/3. And that's what we're going to put in there. Okay, that's the vanilla extract. That's that out. Because, honey, we do not need nobody's ants because they're coming this summer. They are here already, and we've been attacking them ants. They be ready. Okay, so we got the vanilla extract. And the next thing is asking for 1/3 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to get that as well. My 2/3 teaspoon. And by the way, it does not say unsalted butter. It says butter. Okay, so we're going to do just what it says. We're going to do just what it says. Let me get that. Let me get that. 2/3 salt. Salt, 2/3. Y'all, I'm slow this morning. I need to get another cup of coffee. And it's going to be good with this, it's going to be really good with this, banana bread. Okay, let me get this salt. Okay, got that. And then, okay, I'm going to put all the wet ingredients back up. And that's my vanilla and my honey. Okay. I don't know it's you, but I like to clean as I go. And that's all this stuff is going straight to the sink. Okay. And the salt is being put away. Now we're getting ready to use the flour now. So the flour that it's calling for this recipe, it is going to be 3/4 cup, 2/3 cup first, 2/3 cup of whole wheat flour, 2/3 cup. Okay, so we're gonna get that. 2/3 cups of whole wheat flour. You don't need to pack this because they don't call it for it to be packed. It just need to be loose. So you will have to put your cups in there loosely. Okay? Do not pack your flour. Okay? And it's calling for 2/3 cup. So we put in that in there. 2/3 cup. The next one is 3/4 cups plus 1 tablespoon of white bread flour. Okay? 3/4 cup and 1 tablespoon of white bread flour. Okay, so let me get my bread flour. Bread flour, okay. So we get ready to put that in. 3/4 cups. Get that. This too. We're gonna level this out and make sure it's in there properly and evenly. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you here with us. If you never baked a day in your life, welcome. Because guess what? I'm just getting into this baking frenzy. Okay? And believe me, anybody that's watched the channel knows that I have not baked or anything. I'm just getting into this baking, okay? Just getting into this baking. So you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay? And then I'm going to get 1 tablespoon. And we're going to throw that bad boy in as well. Okay? We're going to make sure it's evened up. And that's what it's calling for, okay? So let me put the lid back on my flour. And the last ingredient is the instant yeast. Now you can use the bread maker yeast or you can use instant yeast. And I use this right here. If you put this in the freezer, it'll last you a good year. If you put it in the refrigerator, it'll last you a good 6 months. I throw mine in the freezer. That keeps your yeast active, okay? A little bit longer in the freezer, that's a year. And in the refrigerator, 6 months, okay? So now we're going to make a little swell in the center of that flour, okay, y'all? We're going to put that in there. And we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of bread machine or instant yeast. Okay. So that's what we're going to put in there. 1 teaspoon. That's what it's asking for. So that's what we're getting. 1 teaspoon. And we're going to put that right in the hole. Right there. Okay? It's right in there. Okay. So we got that in there. Okay, so now that we got all the ingredients in, and my yeast back in my freezer. Okay, so now what the book is saying is now that we got it on there, we got a button on here that says sweet. And that's what that means. This is going to be a sweet bread, okay? A sweet and savory bread. So we're going to have to hit that button, that sweet button. On this machine, that sweet button, I believe, is number 3, but I'm going to bring you up in front of it so that way you can actually see what number that is, okay? Now, if you don't have that sweet button on your bread maker machine, that's all right. You just put it on the bread cycle, okay? The bread cycle. Regular bread cycle, okay? 1 pound. So I'm going to show you the front of this machine so that way we can see what number the sweet button is. And that's what we're going to be putting in here, okay? So stay tuned. Okay, family, so as you see, we have this already on 6, but we're going to the menu button and we're going to put this on number 3 And how do I know? Because it says number 3, and that's going to be sweet bread, because it said put it on the sweet bread program on the machine. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So that's number 3, and we have it on number 6, so we get ready to move it to number 3. So if you have this bread maker, we're going to number 3, so we're going to have to go all the way around to number 3. 2, 3. And with that being said, now it's saying we're going to do 1 pound, okay? 1 pound. How would you know? Okay, so you got the loaf size. The loaf size is going to tell you exactly. Do you see where it's moving right here? It says 2 pounds, so we're going to go to 1 pound. So 1 pound, okay? That's what we're going for, 1 pound. And with this ingredients that we have in here is 1 pound. So it's going to take 3 hours and 53 minutes to make 1 pound of this banana whole wheat bread. Okay? So we got it on here. Now we're going to do the crust side. In the book, it's asking you to do with the crust, you need it to be like a light brown or medium brown. Okay? Not dark. So we're going to go, and we got it on medium, okay? And how would you do that? You will come over to your crust color. What's your crust color? It'll tell you, as you can see, it shows you where is it at, okay? So now you see, and I'm going back to that medium crust, okay? So this is going to take 3 hours and 53 minutes to bake this wheat banana bread, whole wheat banana bread. And I'm going to show you how this process works, how it kneads and stuff, so you can see how this thing works in here. So we're going to go ahead and push the start button, and then I'm going to lift this up so you can see what it looks like. Stay tuned. You see how this is? I'm going to hit the start button, and that's what it's going to look like first. It's going to get all those dry ingredients mixed all into the liquid that's at the bottom. The yeast is sitting at the very top, because that's going to be the last thing that's going to hit. And it's going to make itself into a ball. It's going to knead. It's going to do everything it needs to do to make bread. Okay? And that's what it looks like. As you can see, it's going through that first kneading process. That's what you just seen. So, as it gets close to the end of this bread cycle, I will return and come back so that way you can see how it looks, okay, before it ends. So stay tuned. Thanks, family. So you can see it's 3 hours and 49 minutes in, but I wanted to show you through this kneading stage how it is looking. You see how they got that good and mixed up in here? That's how it's supposed to be looking. Okay? So excited about that. So, I will be back when we get close to finishing this bread, okay? But in the meantime, I'm going to show you something, so stay tuned. Another reason why I enjoy loving making breads from here, in this book, it tells you it saves power, and that it does, because it's lightweight. You're not using a stove. It's going to just do everything in this little machine, and it's not pulling a whole lot of power and things. You can set it, like it says, set it and forget it. You can clean it up, and it's easy to clean, because as you're using oils and butters in the machine, it's going to also keep it nice and clean, because it's going to be even sleeker as far as taking the dough out. It's going to be easy to come out. You can have control over your ingredients, okay? And you're saving a whole lot of money, and I'm all about saving money. The other thing is I like about it, it tells you the glory of the gluten, the type of flour you can use, the amount of water, fats, salts, sugar. It have bread machine techniques, and that's got those in there, okay? And it also, go to the next page so you can see, it has the ingredient chart up here. And these are the only ingredients you need for your bread maker. Flour and yeast, salt, eggs, oils, sugars, and liquid. You know what I'm saying? It's got all this in here to tell you. And then it gives you the first rising and how long it's going to stir down, 1 and 2 of the paddles, the second and third rise, and baking. And then you got your different cycles, as you can see here, the different cycles and the settings. And the other great thing is, if you're in a high altitude like I am, it also tells you, you know, what you increase as far as your teaspoons of salt and using colder ingredients and the moisture, all the good things, right? And that's a lot in baking. Because if you have a low altitude or you're in a high altitude and you're not using the ingredients properly, it can cause a lot of those type of recipes to drop and fall, and you're wondering why it ain't doing this or that. This explains a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? And then it also shows you how you can store your bread. Also, it tells you how about the different recipes that you're about to use in here, and about some of them. It's got a troubleshooting. It's got pictures on why your bread is not rising, too much rise. It tells you why it's too much of a rise. The dense and stuff of the bread, the crust could be too thick, and the reason why for that, or too dark. It tells you, explains all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If it's too light, that mushroom top, you know, the sunken bottom of why it's like that, the course and the texture, and why is it so gummy. It tells you all those things, okay? And then it goes into the basic bread. This is the basic bread, everything that's in here for basic bread. So like a little content. And then you start going in, and it's just like one of the recipes for like your everyday white bread. It gives you everything you need to know, as you can see here. And then it gives you the ingredients. It gives you the program of the machine that you need to put it on and all that. You see? And then they'll tell you, did you know? And then the serving slices. Okay? And that's through the whole entire book. You got all this information that you need to know. See all the different recipes? Now, everybody has a smartphone. Just about everybody has a smartphone. And if you don't have this book yet, feel free to just type up on there in your Google search, a bread machine recipes. Okay? And they'll give you a bunch of them. And you can just follow that. This is a good book. Get this book. Like I said, I don't try to spend too much money if I don't have to. If it's an investment, yeah, I'll put some money back for it. Okay, because I'm working on two things. And it's gonna be a good investment. It's gonna come to use, okay? But this right here is $7 and some change. Not even $8. Not even $8, okay? Not even $8. You can get this off of Amazon. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Now, I'm not sponsored by this, but I will be sponsoring from Amazon soon. Okay? So, I'll let you know. So that way, you'll have these little things down here in the bottom if you want to try it out. But this will be on Amazon. Get a good look at it so you can see what I'm talking about. Affordable. $7 and some change. And let's get to baking our own bread. Okay? Let's get to making our own bread. So that way you won't have to go to the store. You already know how much it is. You can be making it yourself. In the meantime, while we're waiting on this, y'all go ahead and get your coffee ready because you're going to be smelling this bread too. Because I'm going to be getting my coffee ready because I'm ready to get that slice of that banana bread because I'm a banana bread lover. And I'm waiting for this cycle to get done. So in the meantime, y'all stay tuned. Okay, family, as you can see, this can happen. And it tells in the book why it could be like this, all right? But that's okay because I'm going to eat it anyway. And then you got this right here. As you can see, that's where the paddle was at. They have a beeping sound on here where it like beep for a good 15 minutes, like 15 seconds, letting you know that you can take the paddle out, so that way you won't have that indentation in there. It don't bother me because we're gonna get 8. It's gonna get 8 anyway. So it has cooled down, and we're gonna cut up a slice so that way we can have some with our coffee. So this is what it's gonna look like. Let me get my knife. And how I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it probably this way. I'm gonna cut it this way so that way you can see it. So I hope everything is up close where you can see, and we're gonna just cut. It's kind of awkward from the way I'm cutting it, but I wanted you to see how I'm cutting it. So we could say that this is, see that hole? That's what I was talking about, okay? From there where that little thing is. But that's okay, it's gonna get 8, and we're gonna use that as the butt piece. But I'm gonna bring you in so that way you can see. This right here, it's okay. It's part of that crust that was in here. That's all that is. And you can just kind of cut that out. That's no big deal if you don't want to see that. If you want to have it looking pretty, it's still going to look good. It's nothing but the crust that was on top of that other piece of that bread. So I'm going to cut another little slice so that way you can see how that is. But this is the banana bread, and it's going to be delicious regardless. So that way you can see. And I'm going to bring this up close so you can get a good view. See that? Just pretty. Okay? And then here it is. Okay? And we are going to take a bite of this right now. And I'm excited. Okay, family, so I found out why that hole was there and why that crust was there at the top. The reason why was when it was rising, that yeast, as it had that bread rising, it had hit that top part of that screen on the bread maker, you know, the window. It hit that, and when it hit it, it inflated it, okay? It inflated that, and it never did rise again. So that's why it had that dent on the inside, and that's why that little hole was there, because of that window. Because when it got hot, it was right there, and it pulled. And those little crust pieces that was in the center, that was fine too, but it hit the top. So yeah, just be aware of that. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. Sometimes you just get lucky. It all depends on the temperature in your house as well. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. Just wanted to tell you that. Do y'all see? And that's how it looks. I don't want to drop that little piece. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay. So we're going to take this little bite. That's really good. See how the crust is? See that? I'm going to turn it around so you can actually see. See that bread? You can taste the honey. It's really sweet. That's really good. And there's a good banana. You can taste the banana too. It smells really good. Yes. So the next time I make this, since that's 1 pound, I'm gonna make a 2-pounder. or a 1.5 pound, and it'll do better. When it comes to this is every single time on this bread maker. When I make that banana, I have another recipe. I don't use the recipe that I got out of the book, but I have another banana recipe where that hoe is not like that in that 1 pound. This is good, yes. Got all natural ingredients in it. Really, really good. Very healthy. I like the one that I came up with as far as making that bread. It's really, really good too. So, yeah, this will work. Now, if I'm going to do this one, I'll do this one again and make it a 1/2 pound instead of a 1 pound loaf. Because, like I said, each time I did a 1 pound loaf, when it came down to the wheat bread like that, it always had a hole in it. And I believe it's because the wheat is more dense than it is with, instead of the regular flour. That wheat is more dense, and it takes a minute for that one. So I think that's the reason why. If you know why, feel free to leave it down in the comment down below, so that way I know, because I've made enough bread to recognize that and see that each time I do a pound in there with the wheat, when it comes to that, it does that. So if I can follow it to a T, to the science. But like I said, the elevations are different too, where you're at and where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? That's also might be key too. You know what I'm saying? I did everything right, but I might have, instead of having the bread, the stuff be warm, it needed to be cool. So it you know, you gotta play with it a little bit, but it turned out really good. It turned out really good. So if you like this video, y'all, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Check over there on the Blockett Family Homestead. This video will be up over there too. Subscribe over there too, okay? Subscribe over there, and down below I will have on the bottom of the screen the name of the channel. Feel free to go over there and subscribe to that channel, because that's gonna be our new channel. That's gonna be our new spot for the homestead and everything. It's giving you a visual of what everything is looking like over there, as far as the land goes, and the stories and different things, family and things like that. I got a few little videos up, but those videos, getting our place set up and all the things, that's all gonna be coming soon, okay? Hopefully everything turns out good this year, that we can go ahead and get started over there on that homestead. But in the meantime, we're over here, okay? We're gonna be over here, and we working our way over to that Blockett Family Homestead. So down on the bottom of the screen, as you can see right there, is the Blockett's Family Homestead. Check this video out and the rest of these bread videos that will be over there. That comes on at 10 o'clock, and I think 9 in the morning. And then the one that you see here will be at 9 in the morning, okay? So they're different times to help people. Whoever wants to watch them, if you didn't get a chance to see it over here, you'll be able to see it over there at 10 o'clock. So throw me these thumbs up, y'all, and leave comments down below, and we're going to be coming with another one tomorrow. And y'all have yourself a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.